disassembling an Eagle Claw inline ice reel. First thing would be to disassemble this knob here. There's a spring under it. You can see there's a small spring here. Oh, and the tools that I'm using for this are going to just be, I like to use a pick. Not everybody has a pick at home, but this is for me is to get in and move small parts, and when your finger's just too stubby and big to get into them areas. A delicate pair of pliers. Any pliers would do, I suppose, but there's some pretty small screws that you're going to want to grab into there. Going to need a small Phillips head screwdriver, and we're going to be putting some Prable Sub-Zero grease in there. So what I'll do is I'll just set everything off to the side. Like I said, I'd already done this once before here, so I can move along relatively quick. Next up is we have this nut being held on here. We'll loosen this bracket. Keep all your parts organized, because you're going to have to put it back together on your own. I'm going to just use my pick just to grab this and start turning the nut. It actually turns the nut for you and loosens it up. Alright, just got to get a little closer to the camera here. I'll take the handle off. You have this free reel, or the drag wheel, that you have to remove. The reason I take apart this side first is the reason having the spool on here kind of holds all the gearing in place so that you can spin that off of there. Otherwise the whole thing likes to spin on you and save you a bit of time in trying to figure that trick out. I'll spin all the way up and into our hand. Underneath here, also be aware there's a washer. It looks bent. It is supposed to be like that. It would be for cushioning your drag against your reel here. Okay, so we have everything that we can taken apart on that side. Let's flip the reel. We'll remove the cap. Be careful, there is an O-ring that's in between the stem here and also the cap that we're taking off. There's an O-ring. O-ring is important because when our gloves are hitting it and the snow is hitting it and water's hitting it, it keeps a lot of that from getting inside the spool. It keeps a lot of that ice inside this that could potentially get inside of the spool. And you can see right here we have an O-ring. Not sure if you can see that in the camera. There we go. There's an O-ring right there. It's real easy just to insert the lube in here as I've done and try to hope that it gets around inside of there, but that's not the case, as I found out. So I need to take off this plastic shroud. Be careful not to lose any of the small pieces. Alright, have it all loosened up, and I want to carefully lift that up. I guess I can use my fingers. I don't want to lose these small screws here. We're going to take that. We're going to set that off to the side as well. Oh, I'm just jumping ahead here. Inside, once you lift that up, you'll see the rest of the gearing. Now you can see where everything got gooped up before. I just tried inserting grease in there without taking the cover off, and but now I need to get grease down inside of these. There's a gear cog here that's attached to this piece that you turn with your reel handle. There's no grease inside here, and also I'm guessing there's a bearing system or sleeve inside of there as well to kind of help it move freely, and that could potentially be drier. The lube is not like it should be in there, so to get in there, there's these small screws. There's 4 of them right in there. There we go. Maybe that'll pick it up a bit. It's a crummy camera. So let's get this out of here. And I'm actually going to just tip that screw out. And number 4. Okay, and I am going to remove this with my pliers. I don't want pieces flying everywhere. Take it, and I will set this all off to the side along with my small screws here. Okay, next up, I'm going to be pulling this out. You can see what I am actually pulling out here. It lifts up gently. Slide her down to the side. Okay. On this piece I just pulled out, it's got a bunch of grease on there. This piece I just pulled out, there is a sleeve. It sits over there. Whoop, whoop. And there is a there is a washer too that goes on top of that sleeve. Now I got dog hair in my reel. Anyone else have a lab? There we go. Alright, so right here, washer goes up here, and then this sleeve goes up on there. And that all rides inside of bearing that is inside of there. And it looks pretty dry. So I am going to lube all that up. Going to lube up my shaft that the sleeve is going onto and the outside of the sleeve. Make sure all the points of contact are going to be lubed up so that hopefully come this winter time on the ice, my reel retrieve will be back up to par, and I'll get another good season out of my Eagle Claw inline ice reel system. It was very good to use. It can still create backlash. You always have to manage your line on the ice. You know, don't pull out of here too quick because it does it acts like a bait caster. There's an adjustment for each bait, or for, you know, say your line. I like to pull my line out. Yeah, I might be able to set that just enough to where when I'm pulling my line out, it actually has a little bit of tension so that the line doesn't just back roll on itself like it's happened in the past. But these are awesome little reels. Don't let them go to waste, and hope this video helps.